Hello. In this video, we will discuss how to enter seasonal employment income into the Income Calculation Workbook, or ICW. Seasonal employment is where the job does not require the employee to work year-round, such as a school, para, or lifeguard. Please note, part-time year-round employment is not considered seasonal employment. This information is the same for both the Affordable Housing Program and all TurnKey programs. While this video will provide a basic overview, we recommend reviewing the AHP TurnKey Income Calculation Guide on our website for complete instructions. First, let's review what documentation you need for a household member who has seasonal employment income. There are three options for documentation you can provide: the previous year's W-2, a verification of employment form, also known as a VOE, or a single pay stub. If you provide a W-2, it must be accompanied by verification from the employer that the nature of the employment is seasonal and that the W-2 represents a full season. If you provide a pay stub, it must be accompanied by a verification from the employer that the nature of the employment is seasonal and stating the number of weeks worked year to date, as well as the total number of weeks that will be worked this year. Please review the AHP TurnKey Income Calculation Guide for a full list of documentation requirements for each option. Please note, if a household member who has seasonal employment income regularly receives unemployment benefits during the off-season, you also need to provide income documentation and calculate these payments in the ICW under Section 4, Other Income. Please review our video covering non-employment income for more details. Once you have the income documentation and have completed the Household Summary tab of the ICW, we are ready to enter the income on the Household Member Income tab. If you don't know how to complete the Household Summary tab, please review our general overview and household summary video and other resources on our website. You will enter seasonal employment income in Section 2, Seasonal Income. First, enter the name of the employer. Make sure it matches the employer's name as shown on the income documentation. Next, complete the year-to-date earnings section. Enter the total number of weeks the household member will work this year, along with the weeks worked year to date as verified by the employer. For the income to calculate correctly, make sure you enter these numbers using 7 days per week, not 5 days per week. If you are using a W-2, enter 52 for both number of weeks will work this year and weeks worked year to date. Now, enter the year-to-date total income. Enter all year-to-date gross income. Do not deduct any types of earnings from this amount. If you are using a W-2, enter the highest gross wage shown on the W-2. Once this section is completed, you will see that the annualized amount for year-to-date income is calculated below. If you are using a W-2, you will not complete the base wages section. So once you have completed the year-to-date earnings section and included any employer verbal verifications and other notes, the seasonal income calculation is complete. If you are using a pay stub or VOE, you will complete the base wages section in addition to the year-to-date earnings section. Enter the hourly rate as shown on the income documentation for regular hourly rate. For hours per week, enter the number of hours per week paid at the regular hourly rate as shown on the income documentation. Do not include the hours from earnings that were paid in addition to regular earnings, such as overtime. Do include hours from earnings that were paid in lieu of regular earnings, such as vacation, holiday, or sick time. If you are using a VOE and the employer gives a range of hours, you must enter the highest end of the range. For example, if the VOE states 35 to 40 hours per week, you must enter 40 into the ICW. Next, enter the total amount for year-to-date other income. Enter the sum of all earnings year-to-date that are paid in addition to regular earnings, such as overtime, bonuses, commission, tips, etc. Once this section is completed, you will see that the annualized amount for total base wages plus other income is calculated below. The ICW will use the higher amount of the two calculations as the household member's income. If the year-to-date income annualized amount is more than 7% above or below the total base wages plus other calculation, you will see a red message that there is an income discrepancy. This requires additional action. If there is an income discrepancy, first, double check to make sure all information entered into the ICW is accurate. If, however, you have verified that all the information entered is correct, and there is still a discrepancy, then you must provide an explanation from the employer. Please review the Employer Explanation/Verification section of the AHP TurnKey Income Calculation Guide for instructions and requirements. Do not submit an ICW with an income discrepancy without providing an employer explanation. Once you have completed both income calculations, addressed any discrepancy, and included any employer verbal verifications and other notes, the seasonal income calculation is complete. If there are multiple household members with income, make sure you enter the appropriate income on the appropriate household member tab. Please review our other videos for instructions on how to enter other types of income into the ICW. For additional questions regarding seasonal income, you are welcome to contact us via phone or email using the appropriate contact information listed on your screen.